we had started with kind of introduction to the blue team, and then we kind of went through the difficulty of the SOC work, why the reason why we're being attacked, and what's the reason SOC is there in the organization, and like we also went through the trends, current trends of like how much time it takes for any company to kind of detect the breach, and different other things like how we can improve the SOC, what is CSOC, different kind of team definition like blue team, purple team, and red team. We understood our specific mission, what's the specific mission of the blue team, and we also looked at like SOC at high level, and what are the things that I'll be kind of covering in this course. And then we also went through the uh, four core queries that SOC team needs to answer. We went through, uh, let me see what all we did. Yeah, we also went through the four stages, what the SOC team handles, which is collection, detection, trials, and investigation. And then now I think we also discuss a little bit about the risk, and now we will be kind of having one more scenario example discussion about the risk, and then we'll be kind of proceeding with the rest of the uh, discussion points. Okay, so let's start with today content. So let's start with the risk. So we had discussion of the risk. There is one scenario which I like to start with today discussion. And like, give me 1 second. Okay. So one of the question I have is, let's say you are kind of working for a company. You are working for a company. Let's say there is a company who makes vaccine. Okay, and the company uh, requires a specific computer, a highly specific computer. Okay, which is actually kind of, let's do this. So there's a vaccine company, and what it does is like it has a highly specifically built computer, which is kind of running Windows XP. Okay, and this Windows XP machine is kind of handling the whole, let's say, the processing of the vaccine for that organization. So it is one of the kind of core machine. And thing is that this Windows XP machine also hosts a web server in it. Okay, so what is happening over here in the scenario is that uh, uh, the employees of that company does to check what's the current status of the processing. They visit the web page of this web server, which is running in this Windows XP machine, to kind of get the real status update, like what's the status of the processing going on in the vaccine company. Okay, so this computer is that means this computer is also kind of connected to the internet. Okay, now thing is that one of the things that has been kind of told to the SOC team is that uh, we one of the goal of the SOC team is to kind of protect this Windows XP machine because it handles the processing part of the vaccine company. But we have been kind of told by the leadership not to kind of touch this Windows XP machine. Like you can't install anything because they fear that if we do certain kind of installation of, let's say, any antivirus or any other stuff like EDR agent and all, it might the system might crash and it will affect the whole working functionality of the vaccine company. Okay, so in this case, I wanted to know what will be your suggestion, uh, how you can kind of protect this Windows XP machine without kind of affecting the kind of uh, whole organization setup over there. So let's share some thoughts of about like how would you approach this issue and kind of protect this Windows XP machine from being exploited by any kind of threat actors. Yeah, go on.
Uh, Can I share my ideas?
Yes, please.
Sir, as we cannot install any antivirus or endpoint security in the endpoint,
Yeah.
so we can provide some other devices, network security devices like firewall, DLP, IPS in order to protect their network. So
Great.
after that, we need to give some segregation of duties and separation of roles for that each and every devices like firewall, DLP, and IPS, where they can put some policies.
Yeah.
So according to that policies, we can protect our environment. The
Mhm.
particular IPs should be allowed and particular IP should be blocked. Those kind of policies we can put accordingly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we can also make some password management like MFA, uh, so that the accessibility also get protected.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Uh, that's my
Yeah. So,
point.
so thing is that this is actually the right answer. Um, uh, like you explained about almost everything. So, so the approach over here will be to kind of provide a protection to this Windows XP machine without touching it via some kind of external appliances. Okay, that's what you told, and it's basically the same thing. What we do, so as a blue team member, it is important that we accept the situation. Okay, we understand the risk and the requirement, and we propose appropriate solution to the leadership. So while kind of we'll be really tempted that okay, this situation is really risky because we know that Windows XP machine has a lot of vulnerabilities, public vulnerabilities, and anyone can kind of easily have a unauthorized control to this machine, and it might create major impact for the company over here. And we might suggest like okay, we might suggest to the leadership that okay, why not discontinue the use of this old machine. But this idea will definitely be kind of rejected if the leadership is not willing to kind of take the risk. So as you told, therefore the focus should be implementing external security measures, okay, to mitigate the risk associated with the machine limitations. And I used a word called mitigate the risk. Mitigate the risk means that we accept that okay, we can't 100% secure this Windows XP machine. Okay, the 100% way to secure any machine is turning that machine off. Okay, so we can't do that. So mitigate means that we are trying to reduce the risk as much as possible. Okay, but it won't be every time 100%. So even though we take a lot of security controls, we'll take a lot of actions, external application, we can't give 100% security that okay, the Windows XP machine is safe, but we can to a certain extent reduce the risk. Okay, so so therefore the focus should be implementing external security measures to mitigate the risk associated with machine limitations. Okay, so it is kind of crucial to kind of interpret the data uh, generated by these measures in order to kind of uh, detect any potential compromise in such setup. So what we are going to do is basically the same thing. We are going to approach this problem via protecting this Windows XP machine um, kind of via externally. So what we do is we block the ports what is not needed. Let's suppose it is kind of having web server running on port 443. So what we do, we block all the other ports because no other communication needs to be done via internet. We whitelist an IP address, like these are the only IP address that can kind of communicate with this with the web server with the web server running on the Windows XP. The reason for that is like if we make that website publicly accessible, uh, the attacker will get a chance to kind of scan the website and kind of understand the vulnerability and maybe explore the vulnerability in that website. And thing is that they can kind of again get a control of that. So we whitelist that, so only specific people are allowed to kind of access the website. Again, same with the password. Definitely, we can kind of kind of change the password at regular basis of the Windows XP machine. So that's one thing. And again, the network. We also put the network security devices like firewall, IDS, and whatnot. That will kind of what it will do is it will monitor the traffic that is going back and